What's going on, guys? It's a new video, and to start off this video, I would like to proudly and humbly and excitedly present to you the first piece of aluminum I have ever welded. It's super ugly. It's super bad, but it's two pieces of aluminum that are welded together. And so what this is this is the flange for the blow-off valve, now adapted to one of Quentin's old intercooler pipes from his 240. I walked out here and I was gonna film it, but I forgot the SD card inside, and it's kind of a walk back to the house, and it's super cold, and I didn't want to make the trip. So we do have a lot on our plate today, other than welding up this flange, which I already did. We've got a lot of stuff to paint. So you guys saw us hard mount the headlights in the last video. They are kind of just tacked up, just to make sure that they're, you know, at the right level, to make sure they're even and whatnot. Yeah, no, they look pretty good. So I'm gonna pull these guys off, and I'm going to finish welding them, and then we're going to paint a lot of the unpainted stuff in the engine bay. So we'll actually take off the covers for the headlights. We're gonna paint this whole bracket. We're gonna paint that heat shield back there. Dad's gonna paint the front radiator support. And then I'm also going to be painting the intercooler piping, because honestly, the like brushed aluminum really isn't all that pretty. After that, we're gonna move on to the body kit. So we have this new Dorki. I can never say it right. Dori. We've got some side skirts, and we also have the rear valences, the rear spats, whatever you want to call them. For this car, and those dudes also need to get painted, along with the front and back bumper for this car. So we've got a pile of stuff to do in this video, so strap in your chairs, kids, pick up your popcorn, because it's gonna be a long one, boys. So the first great thing about these headlights not being totally on is they're not totally on, so taking them off is easy as 1, 2, 3 if you catch them adrift. Yummy. Alright, so I've got the headlights here. I'm going to get these guys all tacked up the rest of the way. Although the mounts holding these headlights aren't super strong, it will do its job holding the headlight in its place. I am going to be using the MIG for this one. Oh, it's one chunk of metal now. Alright, everybody. So the headlights are now solid. Nice and mounted as they'll be. They're super ugly. These brackets are absolutely hideous. Do me a favor and don't look at them. Alright, guys, so I've got some self-etching, as we fondly know as chemical primer, and I'm going to be spraying some etching primer on these parts. Now, because etching primer is super killer, like quite literally killer, I am going to be painting this stuff outside. It is super dark out, so I won't be able to show that to you guys, but last piece, everybody, here we go. Alright, so all the intercooler pipes and stuff are dry now, but while they were drying, I kind of made something. Yeah, I just kind of got into it, and I made this weird little bracket dude. So what this does is this connects, this is the removable core support for those of you who don't know. So this goes like that, and it holds our radiator in and whatnot, but it also comes down here now and connects down there. So this should help with the left and right motion from the car, so any sort of like shimmy from left and right, this guy, once we get it on there the rest of the way, should help us out with that. Disregard the ugly booger welds. I ran out of gas for the MIG welder, so I am using flux core for the time being. Like I said, it's late. There's not a lot of shops open, so our options as far as things go are down. But we're making it work nonetheless, and it's turning out well. I'm actually really excited about this. It's a cool little design. I'm pretty happy with that. I gotta clean up the little end caps as well, and Dad will have to repaint that whole piece. But when it's done, it's going to be solid, and it's gonna look real nice. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to TIG the rest of the brace that I just showed you guys. The reason that I used the MIG while I was tacking it up is because I had no one else there to help me like hold things. But now I've got the TIG, so I can get some nice solid welds on there. Hopefully make it look a little better, maybe, I don't know. But we'll do our best. And Koos is helping film today, and I really appreciate that.
I'm happy to be here, buddy.
I'm happy you're here, buddy. We're gonna paint all the intercooler pipes and stuff. We finally got some heat paint, so.
So I used to help assist in the deconstruction of an automobile for a demolition derby. I've done that a few times, and I forgot how nice spray paint is. Like, look at that. It just you spray it and it paints.
I do appreciate that.
It couldn't get any simpler.
Alright, so as you guys can see behind me, all the stuff is sprayed black now. We're gonna go ahead and start working on the body kit. So we have, like I said, we have the skirts, the valences, the headlight covers. All these things are gonna be painted by Dad tonight. He's also gonna be painting the core support piece. So we gotta get to work on that. I'm also going to be trying to fix up the old cover for, like the old cam gear cover for the JZ, but you know, we'll see how that goes. You know, it's gonna be a good day when that stuff comes out. Shit. Alright, so Koos is going to be prepping the headlight covers, and I'm going to be fixing some of the fiberglass on the skirts. So these guys have this pretty big biff up here, and there's also a little bit of a weird like crack that's kind of on the front actually, but it does go through the back. So I need to fix that, and I need to block this whole skirt. And then this valance over here is pretty cracked, so I need to fix the back side, get the front nice and straight again, and try to get this guy looking somewhat like new.
Alright, so I got these boys sanded down, and then Jonas hit them with the chemical primer, as he calls it. I don't really know what that is, but yeah, now they're green. Took the sand block to this guy, this big old long boy, and then Jonas like fucking finished it up and made it look really fucking decent. You taught me more shit about sanding today. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's been a bit, and I've gotten a lot of work done. The side skirts are sanded down to 400. So these guys are more or less ready for primer. We'll wipe them down, we'll look them over again, we'll probably give them a scuff or hit them with the scritchy pad, There is a little bit of Bondo that went on this spat because there was a ton of rock chips in the gel layer of the actual valence. And then this guy has some more Bondo on it that needs to dry. So now I'm gonna bring the bumpers in and get to work on those. Got about an hour and a half until Sam Squamch comes home from work, and then he'll be able to prime and paint these guys for us, which will be killer. I'm super stoked for that, and it'll be really rewarding to see it all come together. I got the shark nose front bumper in here, and I started sanding on it, and it's got some old paint on it. I'm not sure if it's rattle can or not, so I'm gonna wait until Sam Squanch gets home, and I'm gonna ask him how he wants me to deal with that. But I got the back bumper ready. It's prepped and on the floor here. I'm gonna change my focus towards these pieces again, and I'm gonna be putting these guys on the car, so I can then close the hood and cover the whole car so that Sam Squanch can paint all these bits and pieces in the garage. Alright guys, so I got all the now black painted pieces in the car, and it looks pretty darn nifty if you ask me. I like the black piping. It's a lot more low key. It kind of disappears, and you know, it makes the motor look a little bit more at home in this engine bay. So I'm excited about that. The headlight brackets are nice and black. They still need to be messed with a bit, but that'll be done off camera because at this point it's like beating a dead horse. Alright guys, well, I'd hate to disappoint you, but I'm going to. Things aren't looking so hot for us tonight. It is Thursday evening, and as you can see here, our Bondo is not drying all the way. You can kind of pick it off with your fingernail, and that's no good. So we're gonna have to try to figure out a way to get the Bondo off. I don't know why it did that. We had plenty of hardener. It should have stuck. It should have stuck, and it should be hardening, you know, but it's not. And so we're gonna have to take all that stuff off and try to paint on another day, which is really unfortunate and pretty bummed, but it is what it is. We got some new stuff coming out on Sunday, so look forward to that. And more skids will be here tomorrow. That'll be fun, and yeah, so there will be lots of good content on the way.
Got the jingle kringle.
Jingle Pringle. This is a beautiful day.
Oh my god, why is the sun so loud?